Rehabbing a distressed house can be super scary. It can be super overwhelming, and you can lose a lot of money. Or it can be pretty easy and pretty underwhelming and pretty systemized, and you can make a huge profit or create huge equity. It's all about the information and knowledge that you have. So in this video, I'm going to do my best to give you as much information and knowledge so that you get better at rehabbing if you're currently rehabbing. And if you're thinking about investing in real estate, you're able to have a little bit more confidence knowing that rehabbing is not very hard if you know what you're doing. And I'm even gonna end this video with some best practices for you to be a successful rehabber. You're gonna wanna stick around till then. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you have not. So you are catching me in video number 2 of our series going over the BRRRRS Method. I just recorded a video talking about how to buy a property. I went through a lot of ways to find the deals and to analyze the deals so you're buying a property with the BRRRRS Method so there's enough equity to refinance. The BRRRRS Method stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and systemize. If you watched that video, or if you haven't, make sure hopefully it's going to be showing up on suggested, or you can just go back to my video and watch it. Super informational, because if you want to wholesale, flip, or rent, you need to buy distressed properties. That's got to be your goal, finding the distressed properties or finding the people that find the distressed properties. Now, but in this video, again, even if you are looking to rent, wholesale, or flip, you need to understand how much rehabs cost. So this video is going to be very applicable for you if you're a real estate investor, new or experienced with the information I'm going to give you. So this is the rehab step. This is where you get one of two people, and I'm going to help you be the latter. The former is your people. You see them at Home Depot. They're walking around. What toilet do I buy for my rehab? Should I have an accent wall? What kind of baseboard do I need? They're walking around like puppies, lost puppies. And then there are people that are the professionals, or the people that have the right coaching, like my students, or the right experience, or the right training, where they know, this is what I need, this is what I want, boom, boom, boom. They systemize it, and that's what we're really gonna focus on, is systemizing, rehabbing, and helping you be more comfortable with it, because in order to create value and make the deal a deal, and make the BRRRRS Method work, you have to add equity. And there's right ways to add equity, there's wrong ways to add equity, and there's ways that take away equity. That makes sense. So let's go over the refinance, or let's go over we're just gonna roll with this. Again, I'm not doing any editing, I'm just trying to teach you as much as I can and actually give you information. I'm not worried about all bells and whistles. We're gonna go over the rehab of the BRRRRS Method, okay? So I'm even gonna give you like general costs per square foot and types of rehabs. All right, so let's go over the rehab of the BRRRRS Method. So you did this first part route, you found a distressed property that needs work, okay? And part of the buying the properties is the max allowable offer formula. If you were around earlier, that's how you value the price you pay for the property that you're looking to buy. It is ARV times 75% minus repairs or rehab. Get it? So that's what we're going to focus on, the rehab part of the max allowable offer formula. Again, and there are right and wrong ways to rehab. So let's just kick this off with the best things to do to be able to quickly identify how much you're going to rehab a property for. So I get this all the time, is I don't know how far to take the rehab. I don't know where to stop. Do I replace the cabinets if they work well? Do I need a new countertop? What do I need? So when you're formulating your rehab budget, there is a way to figure out how far you need to go to the rehab, and that is look at, gonna make you wait. I'm gonna write actually neat for once, see if you can read it. This is how you know how far to take your rehab. It's so simple, but so powerful. Look at comparable sales. If you're looking at that 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot house that we keep talking about in the last video and this one and moving forward, and you find other 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot houses in the same neighborhood that are your comp, that is your ARV, make your finishes like that or slightly better. If all the houses in the neighborhood that are the same as your house, if they have older painted cabinets and granite countertops with linoleum floor, maybe redo the cabinets, throw granite and maybe LVP, but you don't need to go crazy. You don't need to do gold-plated handles, marble countertops with quartz accents, and a shiplap wall, and soft close cabinets all the way to the ceiling, and expensive trim. You see my point. You could do that. It's fun, but make your house, if you're looking to sell it or rent it, slightly better than the competition. That should be somewhat of a measuring stick at how far you should actually go on the rehab, rather than just, I don't know, I guess I'll replace the floors. I don't know, do I need to or not? Look at the floors of the houses that are going to be your competition, if that makes sense. So that is a good way to frame your initial conversation with the rehabbers and your crew or the crews you're hiring of how far to take the actual rehab. So that's a great way to do it. And I'm going to go over like kind of costs here in a second. But before I do, I want to talk a little bit about how to find the right contractors to work on the house, because contractors can make all the difference. Good contractors can take a bad buy that you overpaid for and maximize it to where you're still sitting okay. And bad contractors, I don't want to scare you, can take a really good property that you bought at a huge discount and completely screw it over. Because when you're dealing with real estate and when you're dealing with investment properties, little mistakes, look how weird I write, isn't that weird? Little mistakes cost big money. Guess what big mistakes cost? Even bigger money. Mistakes cost money. We're not talking about a $100 mistake. Mistakes in rehabs cost thousands of dollars. Big mistakes cost tens of thousands of dollars. So I'm not saying that to scare you, because the very last thing I'm going to do in this video is give you a way, a solution, a concrete solution to not make big and little mistakes. It's been proven by me and a ton of my students. I'm giving you ways to not make little mistakes. And again, hit the like of this video if you have not. Hit the like of this video. Gosh, I'm an idiot sometimes. Hit the like button if you've kind of heard anything that you've learned from a little bit. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you get notified when more of these videos come out in this series. And I do a ton of giveaways as well. And in the description below is a free training that can help you. All right, so little mistakes cost money, big mistakes cost big money, so having the right contractors will help you do that. Now, the best places to find good contractors, the number one way do this is investors that you know. Most investors aren't big enough to have their own crews for everything or anything, and they will gladly refer you to a good contractor. They have a really good roofer that they love, that gives good pricing, that's fair, that does a good job. That's how you can find a good roofer, because finding a good roofer can be really tough. So talk to others investors and get referrals. I guess I could have written, but investor referrals. Another way, and maybe the second best way, maybe the first best way, is existing contractors. If an investor refers you a roofer and you talk to that roofer and you treat them well, you respect them, you pay them on time, you communicate, you give them scopes of work, you do it the right way, guess what? They will refer you to a siding person. That siding guy will refer you to a window gal. That window gal will refer you to a landscaper. The landscaper will refer you to a contractor that does concrete work. That concrete guy can refer you to a garage door guy. The garage door guy can refer you to somebody that does flooring. That flooring person can refer you to somebody that does baseboard. The baseboard person probably paints as well. So anyways, that's the point. I know I went down a little rabbit hole, but the goal of that was start with investors, find good contractors, treat the contractors well, and they will refer you to other good contractors. Good contractors, hang around good contractors. Bad contractors, hang around bad contractors. And you want to find good contractors, but they're not going to refer you if you haven't given them a reason to do that. They're not going to send you to their buddy that does siding if they think you're going to mistreat their buddy. So those are the top two ways to do it, for sure. Not even close. Another good way is local meetups. There are contractors that work with homeowners and there are contractors that work with investors. The contractors that work with investors, a lot of them go to local meetups because they want to shake the hand of somebody that's going to be buying the house that they're going to be working on. They want to get to know people. They understand the value of a network. So go to your local meetups. You'll meet good contractors there. And there's a ton of other different ways to do it. These are the main three ways. But local Facebook groups, they can be good. There's knuckleheads in those groups, but in general, you can get some decent referrals out of there, especially if you need something last minute. I need a plumber for something tomorrow. Boom, 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 throw it in the Facebook group. somebody will probably get you something. Might not be the best price, the best work, but it's better than having something leaking, and flooding something. Maybe you'll find a great one though, who knows? So those are the kind of ways to find the contractor. So we talked about working on the house, how far to take things. We talked about making sure to include everything in your rehab budget. And we're talking now about how to find the good contractor to do the work, because even if you can do a lot of the work yourself, is that a best use of your time? Would it be better for you to spend an entire weekend away from your family painting the inside of this house, or paying somebody $3,000 to paint the inside of the house? Like, just got to figure out what's more important to you, time and things. Like, maybe at first do some of the work yourself, but you got to hire things out, especially if you want to scale and systemize and do things the right way. That's a huge focus there. What are we looking on time? Not too bad. Trying to keep these under 15-ish minutes, so you're not sitting here for 30 minutes, because you ain't gonna hang around that long. All right, let me know what you in the comments you think about my cool pants. I get made fun of about them. I'm not like trying to be in the Army. I just think they're like kind of, I don't know, they're built like all the stuff I have, and I think they're cool. All right, so let me know what you think in the comments if you're watching this far. Good pants, bad pants, or you're just an idiot, which I am, which is fine. All right, so the next step, let's talk about some general cost of rehabbing, like per square foot for type of rehab. And then again, I'm gonna end this video with a solution that will, I don't know if I can say ensure that you won't make big mistakes, but it can really, really help. And it's a legitimate solution. I'm not saying, I'm not giving you some puff thing. I'm gonna give you an actual solution. So in my opinion, there are 3 types of rehab. There is a light rehab, there is a mid-level rehab. Again, I could write neater, but I just get too impatient. And then there's a gut rehab. These are the 3 levels, light, mid-level, and gut. Let's describe light. Light is something that you're replacing just surfaces, painting, flooring, refinishing cabinets, maybe countertops, maybe a roof, but nothing drastic. Just replacing general surface level things. The house is in good shape. This won't be a 1930s house, a 1920s house. This is probably like a 1980s or 90s house that just needs some freshening up. Now, depending on your market, this is all market driven. I'm actually working on some few things to help do some crowdsourcing to get you prices. But in general, a light rehab, now nothing's known for sure, is gonna cost you $20 to $30 a square foot. Now, the only reason I'm telling you this is if you look at a property, look at how much it needs, this will give you a quick reference point to is it worth digging in. If somebody's trying to sell you a house for $100,000 and it's a light rehab, but it's worth $150 and it's 1,000 square foot, we'll do the math in a second. It's not a deal. So this just lets you see if it's a deal, but do not use these numbers for your offer. Do not use these numbers for your rehab budget. These are just initial numbers for you to quickly look at a property within 2 minutes, tell if it's worth digging into. Because digging into properties is good practice, but I can't tell you how many times I dug into properties and I'm like, this isn't even close to a deal. Well, if I had this criteria, I could have known that earlier and saved a lot of time. So this is 20 to 30 bucks a square foot. So if it's a 1,000 square foot house, that means it's gonna be 20 to 30K. I'm talking light rehab, okay? And again, if you're in California, it's probably maybe more like 25 to 35 or 25 to 40. But I'm talking in general, most of the US is probably that 20 to 30, maybe closer to 30. But again, if it's a 1,000 square foot house, 30 grand will go a decent amount away if it's a light rehab. Now, mid-level is going to be cosmetic, surface level, but some bigger things like replacing a full kitchen, and maybe that roof and maybe windows or something. Like the big ticket items, in my opinion, from top to bottom is going to be the roof. Actually, obviously any structural damage. It's going to be windows. It's going to be siding, a huge deck. That's what she said. A kitchen, not flooring, not paint. Like maybe like an HVAC system, foundational damage, things like that. So there's like 10 big ticket items on rehabs, and light is none of them. Mid-level is 2 or 3 of them. So this is cosmetic stuff, this 1,000 square foot house, but you're replacing, the kitchen, the roof, HVAC, and you're putting a deck on the back. So this is going to be more in that like $35 to $50 a square foot range, okay? So that same 1,000 square foot house is potentially gonna be, 35 to 50K rehab. And if it's a 2,000 square foot house, that's a $70,000 to $100,000 rehab. And again, these numbers have gone up a lot with inflation recently. But again, you're seeing, if you're looking at a property that looks like it needs a lot of work and a couple systems and bigger items replaced, and it's worth 150 and they're selling it for 100, you know right now it's not a good deal. So you can move on. And then the last is a gut. A last is pretty much everything. And this one's got a big range, but this is, you're not like replacing the electrical system and tearing out the walls. That's like almost like a new build. This is like everything's gutted, you're cleaning it out, you're taking a wall out, you're replacing the kitchen, you're taking the bathrooms out, you are taking the the tub surrounds out. You're starting from a blank canvas. It's a functional house, but it's a blank canvas. This and its most big ticket items, maybe not a roof, maybe not windows, but pretty much everything else. Now this is going to be more in that like 55 to 80K range. And again, that's 55 to 80 bucks a square foot for this 1,000 square foot house. That's 55 to 80K. $80,000 on a 100 square foot house is a lot, or 1,000 square foot house is a lot, okay? So again, these are kind of your ranges, and there is a lot that can be done. And of course, these things vary from markets, but in general, this will give you an idea. Hopefully that helped. And to round this out, the number one thing that will save you money, that will ensure you don't lose money is, hopefully this is drama. You see, I mean, the front of my head's stupid, but so is the back of my head. So you get to look at it. A second set of eyes. Let me explain this. When I got started, you're going to love this story, so hang around for this. When I got started, this was my third or fourth project. I had a hard money lender underwrite the property with me. He wouldn't give me the loan until he looked at the property. So let's do the math, okay? It was a 2,500 square foot house that sold. Why did I do that? A 2,500 square foot house it was a 2,500 square foot house that sold for 250 bucks a square foot. That was kind of what the market was in the area. So a 2,500 square foot house times 250 bucks a square foot. Isn't this good for math? So 2,500 square foot house times 250, so it's a $625,000 house. I had a second set of eyes. He walked it with me and he said, this doesn't feel like 2,500 square foot. It needed a complete gut, huge project. That's why I was there. I was like, well, that's what the wholesaler said. And I don't know what sizes of houses are. And we measured it. It was a 2,000 square foot house. And it still went for 250 bucks a square foot. I don't need a calculator for that. That is a $500,000 house. So that means my ARV was $125,000 off. And a second set of eyes saved me. And I would have been out of business and never probably done real estate again had I assumed it was that. That's just an extreme example, but that's what a second set of eyes can do on the rehab, on the purchase, on everything. So if you're looking for a second set of eyes, that's part of what we do. I have a mentorship program, and you can learn more about it by going to the description below and checking out the free training and calling the schedule with my team. But that's what we do, is we hold your hand through every deal and can potentially save your entire business and your entire financial freedom future by just having a second set of eyes on deals. It's invaluable, as I just showed you. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell, so you get notified when the next video in the series comes out. This is where I host my podcast as well. I have it on all podcast platforms, but some of the videos are chopped up on here as well. And I go live and I do things like this and educate as much as I can. My whole purpose here is to not sell you on anything, but to educate you more than I can on my TikTok and my Instagram. So if you enjoy that and appreciate that, hit that like button if you haven't. Subscribe, notification bell, and share this video with a friend. Who knows, maybe this will help change their lives too. Share this with a friend. See you on the next one.